All right, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back to an older man review. This is one of those unusual ones. And when I say unusual, it's common, but it's unusual. And here's what I'm talking about. It's common because I hear women with it a lot. Just 3 days ago, I had a woman here in Dubai who told me that she's with a perfect guy. She's 43 years old. She's older, but the guy that she's with, she's not happy with him. I said, what's wrong? Oh, everything is perfect. He's the perfect guy. He has the perfect job. He treats me well. Everything is great. But there's just something I'm not happy with. And I feel that, and I'm debating if I should leave him. She's 43. I said to her, please tell me what prospects there are out there for a 43-year-old woman. You've been in this relationship for the last 8 years. What makes you think that you're going to do better 8 years later with a guy who loves you, who treats you well, but there's just something missing, even though you can't tell me what it is? I said, I knew exactly what's wrong. And I'm going to explain to you guys what's wrong. Because she agreed. When I asked her all important questions, she agreed with me because I pinpointed exactly what her problem was. And I want you to listen to this video, and I want you to guess while you're listening to this video, because this woman here that I found online is explaining the same problem that she has with her relationship.
So earlier this year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He was a good man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me. He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes. But there was still something missing. And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife. And so I cut off the engagement. And it was so difficult because he was a good man. It's easy when a person is not good. You can justify why you cut things off. But when a person is truly a good person, it's hard to explain. So I found myself trying to explain it to family and friends, and they were asking me a whole bunch of questions that, I could not say, exactly why, other than the fact that I just did not feel the connection. There was something that was not there that I needed to be there in order for this to be my husband. And so I stopped trying to explain it, and I just trusted my decision, and I went on. But then I got an epiphany, and it was just like, have you ever been shoe shopping and you saw a nice pair of shoes and it's like, ooh, I love the color. I love the style. The heel is the right size and it's a reasonable price. Like it's on sale and it's a good shoe. But then when you approach the shoe, you see that it's a size 6 and you need a size 7. Does it take away from the fact that the shoe is a good shoe? Does it take away from the fact that you're getting a great deal for the quality? Does it take away from the fact that the heel is still the right size? It doesn't matter. All of that still makes the shoe is still good. But if it's not your size, it's not the shoe for you. And so that is what I had to accept. Yes, he was a good man. But what that feeling was is that he was not a great fit for me. It didn't take away from who he was, but it was just confirmation that he was not a good fit for me. And that leads me to say that some of us are trying to force relationships when we know they don't fit. It doesn't mean that the person is not good. It doesn't mean that they are not good-hearted people. It just means that they're not a good fit for you. So free them up. Don't continue to settle for things that you know is going to cause discomfort in the future. Me purchasing a size 6 shoe when I wear a 7 is discomfort. Don't do it.
She's found a perfect guy, handsome, rich, etc., etc., but she broke off the engagement. So I want you to understand this analogy with a shoe. Just because somebody can make something sound similar to the next doesn't mean that it's actually true. Please bear that in mind. Now, she equates her relationship with a shoe that doesn't fit. I can equate that to anything. But the reality of it is, she don't take into consideration the human aspect, the emotional aspect, because shoe analogy don't come into that. She don't take into account her sexual marketplace value. In other words, the older she gets, the worse it gets for her. In other words, when she's older, she's not going to have enough currency, not enough beauty, not enough purity to be able to buy a better shoe, if you want to use that analogy. So here's the problem that these two women have. And before I go on, listen, man, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Come on. Let this algorithm know that you getting some nuggets, you getting some good shit right here. Okay? Because I want to grow this platform bigger and better, because men are now waking up and realizing that if we come together as one, with one voice, and tell women no more, and I'm talking about the real men, not these little pussies. I'm talking about real men get together. The men that women want get together and say, no, we're going elsewhere. We have options. These women will wake up very quickly and realize they need to change their attitude.
We need to come together and do one thing: stop participating. And when we do that, the game is over. When we literally say, Monday morning, we're not going to go to work. Imagine if 30 million people didn't go to work Monday. Imagine if 30 million people didn't buy gas on Monday. Imagine if 30 million people went to the bank on Monday and said, I want to withdraw all my money. They can't even give it to all 30 million because only 15% of the cash is available on hand at any given time. The rest is fake zeros and ones. That would collapse the banking system in one day. You see the power in that? You have the power. Well, we all have the power, but what's keeping us back from doing this? Fear. Oh my God, if I don't go to work, I'm going to get fired. And if they don't participate in it, and I'm the only one that doesn't show up for work, I'm going to lose out, and you're not going to be able to pay my rent.
Here's the problem that this woman is having, and the lady that I spoke to in real life, and I explained this to her. Both of these women have fell for that trap that they could be as promiscuous as they want during their 20s and early 30s. And now they're no longer able to pair bond. Both of these women have literally ran through too many bodies in their early years to now produce the bonding hormone called oxytocin.
A woman sleeping around, it hurts herself more than anyone else because it impacts her ability to pair bond. So women have a hard time staying when they've slept with too many people, statistically. Yeah, because women that have slept with more than 5 men, their chance of a happy marriage drops from at 80% after 10 years, they're going to be in a happy marriage, to 30% after 5 partners after 10 years.
This is the problem. Think about it, guys. Think about it, ladies. If you have been running through a lot of guys, a lot of dates, right? It's exciting. It's mind-blowing. You're not like men. We don't produce this hormone as men. Us men, we could hit anything and go home and love our woman. You can't. So what happens is that you get so excited going through all of these different bodies, month after month, year after year, that now when it's time to settle down and find a man, and you finally find a good man, a man who's stable, a man who's focused, a man who has his shit together, a man who treats you well, because both of these women specifically said these men treat them well. He's not toxic. He's not putting them through any emotional roller coasters. All of that stuff is exciting for these women. But now it's time to grow up. And these women cannot find that hormone. They can't bond. They can't get excited because this man isn't making their heart beat, not driving them crazy. It's normal. These women are not used to normal. So more and more women are unable to stay in the perfect relationship. Both of these women, and you have proof on this particular video, this woman says it's the perfect guy. And this is what I'm trying to say. How does it make sense that it's the perfect guy, but the wrong guy? Please tell me how that makes sense. How can it be the perfect shoe, but the wrong shoe? Because the word perfect means that all the criterias are in order, including the size. But her brain cannot deal with the fact that I'm not getting that toxic craziness that drives me nuts. My heart isn't pounding every day. My nerves are steady. Women need drama. And the more drama they had in those early days when they were getting their guts beaten out, it makes it harder for them to settle down.
What's the body count?
Probably like 300 something.
300 something, okay. And you said, okay, 300.
Yeah, what about you guys?
Mine's at like 50.
50, okay.
Yeah.
I'm also at 50.
50.
There lies the problem. So gentlemen, you make sure you vet your woman. You got to understand how many bodies she's been through. Because if you're looking to take her into a long-term commitment, you are going to have problems. You're going to have problems constantly stimulating that brain that has already gone through a lot of drugs. And I'm not talking about chemical drugs. I'm talking about the drug of excitement that other toxic men has put her through. My friend, you have to come in and be the cleanup guy. And I'm telling you, it's not easy. So a lot of these women don't realize the amount of damage they're doing to themselves going through this whole hoe phase and their promiscuous days, and I can be just like a man and have as much sex as a man. No, you can't. We're biologically different. Proof is right here. You young ladies, please be aware that this is your fate. Because the only advice I could give to the lady that I met personally here and is simply this. You made your bed, you have to sleep in it. Meaning, there is no real hope besides therapy and getting your brain to now identify that this is what you've done to yourself and this is the fate that you now have to live with for the rest of your life. Be good to that man, because if he leaves you, the prospects of you finding another decent man at your age is slim to none. Second choice, leave this man. Take your chances on the open market right now, and the possibilities are so slim, you will probably end up buying a dog or cat, dying alone. Because you are at an age, you're in your 40s. There's nothing you can offer a man at this point that he would want from you. Men value purity and youth. And one of the reasons he wants youth is for you to be able to be fertile and to be able to give him kids so that he can pass on his wealth and knowledge to his next generation. If a man doesn't get that, what are you offering a man? See my point? But before we go, let's read a few comments from some of the readers from this woman here in this video. I am Nina Janine says, you got to respect her honesty, because in the long run, they would have gotten a divorce. It's better to not force it with someone just because they're a good person. Man do it too. So let's not make it a woman thing. It doesn't mean she's a bad person. She's just aware of herself. This is Jackie and Marshall. Marshall was a good guy and Jackie forced herself to want him because he's a good, high-quality man. But she knew her feelings were stronger with Josh, and frankly, they made better sense when you saw them together. In other words, Josh was the guy that was busting the guts out. He didn't have shit going for him, but he made those feels, he made that innards feel good. But it wasn't the right man. But in the long run, my dear friend Janine, she will be disappointed with Josh because he's a loser. A good man is hard to find. And you women just can't get it. You just don't freaking get it. Unbelievable. My angel 02301017, oh God, whatever the number is. I'm not mad at her. At least she was able to catch it sooner than later. It's either their energies weren't matching or it wasn't given what needed to be given in the bedroom. People are in relationships and marriages for all the wrong reasons, so therefore they're not happy. Another delusional woman. I can tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, take note, but it's more the women that will have a problem with this statement. It's literally impossible for you to stay married for 10, 15, 20 years and still have it in the bedroom. Okay? It's okay, but I can tell you, 15 years of the same D, the same P. I don't care how you mix it up. I'm in it 18 years. Still great. Point is, it quickly loses that crazy, exciting part. So you ladies keep going on about, oh, wasn't in the bedroom. Trust me, regardless of how that D starts early in the relationship, for even 4, 5, 6, 7 years in, it might be good. But after that, you ever heard of the 7-year itch? That shit's real. Because after 7 years, things start to get real, monotonous. There is no move that he could do that's going to drive you insane anymore. No, you know all of his moves. She knows all of your moves. That's the reality of life. But just because a good man ain't putting it down like he used to, all that means is that you've gotten used to it. It's like going to a real good, one of those real local restaurants that you get your favorite jerk chicken. You get that good old jerk pork or whatever your favorite food is, right? For me would be that oxtail and rice and peas and I eat that every day, in it, eat it. Okay, and then it starts cutting down to, okay, once a week, cuts down to, okay, once a month. The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter what it starts out, that D or that cat will get monotonous, stale. But if the person is a good person, he's providing, everything else is good, you'll be all right. But if it's a toxic man that's giving you good D, guess what's going to happen? The D is going to get old, right? He's going to start doing other things outside. You're going to go crazy and it ends up going wrong. In the end, what do? You end up with another body, another failed relationship, not a lot more trauma. It's over. Women don't see the long term. They only see the short term aspects of life. This is why it's important to have men in your life. The Riley method says, good for her. You all want women to settle for good enough just to have a man so bad. And I don't get it. Nobody would have dealt with the misery of marrying him to make everyone else happy but her. This is just another example of why single women keep women single. The woman said he was a good man.
So earlier this year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God.
That should be enough. Wow. Here's another woman that says, damn, he wasn't hitting. Sad face, laugh. Glad she left him. Go so he can find what he needs. Yep, go so that you can find Mr. Toxic, so that you can get your excitement. So all these women are trying to do, you women are so cunning. You are encouraging this woman to leave a good man to go find a toxic man. Why? Because you need those good men for yourselves, right? Here you go. You guys are good. You guys are good. Unbelievable. Oh, man. Anyway, guys, listen. Let me know what you think. I'll be happy to get some good feedback. Of course, subscribe. If you guys want to ask me some personal questions and you want to make it quick and easy, go over to my page on Instagram, Ask an Older Man, same URL. And if you need some serious problem solved, you need a mentor, or you want to talk to some ladies, practice your male communication skills, head over to askanolderman.com. All right? So until next time, remember, whenever you're in doubt, always ask an older man. Cheers.